not as easy as it looks.
Nobody ever appreciates the hard work.
They never do. They never do.
Just like the pretty things.
Right on, folks. Here we are, episode something or another with Sid Howell, or some whatever I'm supposed to say.
Whatever we're doing.
Right on. Good longtime friend as usual on here, Mark McPheeters. Yes, Metal Mark to you badass metalheads out there. He's been a long time heavy metal personality. SkullAndBones.com, Metal Injection for a little while. Little stint with Eat Serious, right?
Yeah, had a little stint there. Worked with Ghost Cult magazine too.
Yep, Ghost Cult. So you're gonna, if you know metal and have really been into those platforms for a while, you've seen this guy.
Took a few years off, but
yeah, but still, you are a staple of 2000s metal to me.
I appreciate that.
That's why I always loved hanging out with you at the bars, hanging out at shows. So it's like Metal Mark, a man of a million metal shows.
So many, man. I miss them.
You and me and everybody else. I've just been getting worn out with everybody. Sid, when are you get putting on something?
I bet.
I'm like, you'll know as soon as I know.
I watched the one with Sweetwood, and he's like, we got a crystal ball. It's like the perfect explanation of it.
That's it, because you know we're chomping at the bits to get it done, and I know so many agents and other promoters that have booked things, fallen apart, rescheduled. Fell apart again.
Been used,
rescheduled. Yeah, and so I know guys that are just looking rough from like I've rerouted the same tour 4 times. It feels 3 times at this point, and so people are starting to just stop and now canceling until otherwise.
Yep.
I've considered doing some of the social distancing style events, but with a rock and roll event, and that's
kind of hard.
Well, and especially it's easier if it's a talent that is big enough to bring large numbers of people to justify vehicle parking, mobile stage rentals, things like that. I'm just too scared to do that. I'm not a big enough cootie for that yet. To be truthful with it. That sounds like a nightmare. Me even looking at Tim when we was talking, he was like, "Yeah, no, man.
Yeah, it's a thing." I mean, I went to the Metallica drive-in.
How was it? Because we talked about it.
Yeah, it was cool, man. It was number one, it was great to see people, like see friends and human beings again.
Right.
To know that they're still alive and everybody's doing good. But like, of course, Metallica is one of the biggest bands ever. So plenty of parking, plenty of cars, and like people somewhat socially distanced. But the show was great. Hanging out with friends for the first time since March was great.
How was the production that they put on? Was it just a live show, or was there little skits and talking to you? I mean, how did that run?
No, it was just a straight live show. They filmed it at a winery, which... interesting idea with James. Yeah. Yeah, they filmed it at like a vineyard in California, and they played a little over 2 hours. Not really. The set list was pretty. You get what they're gonna play.
Yeah,
there was no like real surprises, but like sounded great. James looked great, so I was happy. I think Shinedown opened.
There was an opener for it.
Yeah, it was like a 35 minute set, something like that. But
well, I wish I would have made it out to it, because I love just going to the drive-in.
It was cool,
anyways.
Man. I've never been.
Really?
That was my first time, and I was like, damn, I need to come see a fucking movie.
Oh, dude, man, I hate to be the people that say this, but you missed it.
Yeah,
the drive-in isn't what it used to be.
I know, man. Yeah,
when we had Monster Bash and Drive Invasion, these types of events that used to be there with the old owners, it was amazing. It was just debauchery all day long. And then Smokey and the Bandit or Godzilla at the end of the night. Double features of just awesome old movies, and then just drinking and music all day long, and all your best friends.
Yeah, man.
Grilling out.
That's kind of what Metallica was. We had a group of like 10, 15 of us.
Were there people tailgating it and grilling out and hanging out?
There was no grills, but yeah, you were drinking. Like they were like, you can't bring alcohol, but you're like,
it's a Metallica show.
We're bringing alcohol.
Good luck with that. Good luck with that. That's awesome. Yeah, I seen you post about it after we had talked about it. I was like, damn it, I should have went. I don't remember what I ended up coming up and keeping me from it, but it was.
Yeah, a lot of people were like complaining about the prices, which I get like 150 for a car or something like that. But if you like break it down to like 5 people in a car, it's like $30.
Yeah,
it's not that bad.
I mean, that's the thing with going to a movie theater. They're going to get you for $25 a person anyways.
Easy.
Yeah. So what did you expect?
Yeah. All the complaining. I'm like, come on.
I've just been the complaining of everybody trying to stay relevant in this world, this pandemic, has really bummed me out. I don't necessarily always put my 2 cents on it because I definitely don't have the right answer. But I hate it when
anybody does.
Yeah, but I hate it. I hate seeing people get thrown in the ringer for trying to stay afloat. There's venues that are trying to do socially distanced shows and getting harassed. Bands trying to do things. I get it that they may not be going about it right, but who are you to drag to kill they're losing everything.
Yep,
they're losing everything. So I see it. So I just wish that. Hope a vaccine comes along sooner than later. That's for the music industry, sports industries, large gatherings in general.
Or mental health.
But for what we do, entertainment, that's it.
It's it, man.
A vaccine is the only thing that's going to straighten that shit out and make everybody happy enough to return back to those types of lifestyles and those types of gatherings.
I mean, a year without Slaughter Q, what the fuck, man?
Oh, man. It was just like, it would have just been last weekend.
I know, man.
It's so hard.
Man. I will say, though, I remember, like, when I moved to New York and I saw, like, Slaughter Q just, like, keep growing. I'm like, damn, look at this motherfucker.
Dude, it's
like, from where it started to, like, now, I'm just like, good Lord, man.
After the thing the other day, I was talking with someone, and they were like, how'd you start it? And I was like, well, it's just an idea. We wanted to do shows, so we got one pig. If like 4 or 5 bands, like 150 people showed up.
Dude, it was a party, man.
It was a party. We enjoyed it. It was all our best friends. We had a great time. And now it's well over 1,000 pounds of meat, 40 bands last year, 5 stages.
And like massive bands, too. Like, good Lord.
Exodus definitely was a feather in my cap.
Of course, yeah.
I look forward to next year and starting to work on it. We've already started, kind of poking out and doing things. But the same thing back, me and Sweetwood were talking about, it's really hard to do this and put all the effort that it takes with any faith.
Yep.
That it's not just going to go up in flames. And putting on a festival it's not easy. It's not easy. And it's a lot of commitment and time, and when it all goes up in flames, it's sad. It's sad. And it's like once again what we were talking about. It's all about dumpster fire containment, and this thing right here is the biggest dumpster fire that ever happened to the industry.
I mean, it's insane, man. It's like 2020. I don't know. It's like every week there's something new, and it's like, fuck, man.
That's Black Mirror took off and didn't. That was what they said. We're not even going to release a season of the show because reality is so fucked up right now. How can we compete with what's really going on? Did you watch Black Mirror?
I did. That's one of the, because I don't really watch TV that much, but since the pandemic, like I'm at home working and like I've caught up on, I finally watched Breaking Bad for the first time ever.
Yeah.
I finally watched like all these shows. So yeah, I started watching Black Mirror and I was like, all right. It's like, it's coming.
It's here, dude.
Yeah, no shit.
It's here. I don't know what to think about this stuff. We've touched base on the show already a couple times, but with this going on and you being the pandemic coming in and you being such a concert aficionado and stuff, what are your thoughts on the incoming VR revolution to these? Because even before the pandemic, I've already seen tickets for sale for VR experiences on stage with comedy, football, and even rock and roll. So what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I'm not a gamer, but I know a lot of people that do the VR games and they're like, it's actually legit. Like, it's really cool.
Yeah.
But for me, like at a concert, like I want to smell like the alcohol. I want to like hear, you don't get the same experience.
You can't replace that subwoofer to the chest.
Oh, hell no. But like at the same time, if that's your only option,
like right now,
then like I'm all for it. Because anyway, I can see live music, like all the streams they're doing online, and like Baroness's show the other day was gorgeous. And if that's the only option we have, I'm all for it.
Have you been tuning in to quite a few live streams and things?
Man. I've done all of them. I miss it, man. It's like
I'm there for all of
And it's like $20, and I'm like, all right. So I got 2 hours at home. I get to watch my favorite bands and like drink a beer and have a good time. Like,
well, me and Matt have tuned into a few of them, and I've been just appreciating looking back at how everybody's making theirs unique to sell. That's got to be a hard ticket to sell.
I mean, like the Behemoth one.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit. It was a movie. Like, they went, like, you know how their videos are? It's like beautifully shot, like all the symbolism, but they went all out on theirs. Like, it should be a DVD. Like, it's phenomenal what they did. And they work, I forget the name, it was a group of 13 they do their productions, I think there's the name. So they had like a church in the middle of the forest, and there was just like pyro and like dancers and like all the shit going on. I was like, what the? This is a fucking thing. Like Metallica's was like just at a winery, and they like had Nurgle went all out, man. Nurgle's like, I'm gonna win
if we're gonna,
and he did.
That's all. I mean, I didn't see that one. I'll have to check.
Yeah, that was that's the best one I've seen by far.
The Down one was pretty good, but it was cut and dry as well. It was just on a little studio,
which is kind of cool because that's Down.
That's exactly. You don't want fucking.
Like, I don't want pyro. I just want to hear the risk.
I just want Phil sounding good.
Yeah, man, he did.
Yeah,
he sounded great, man.
That's what we were eagerly waiting for. As soon as he came, we were like,
you gotta wait for every time you see Phil. Now you're like, all right,
yes, we got a good day. We got a good day. Thank the Lord. Thank the Lord.
I've seen him bad. Yeah, it's
luckily for me, I think I've seen him where I wasn't as quite as happy one time. I think it was Super Joint performance.
Yep.
One that I just wasn't feeling. But I've seen him own with Super Joint. The first time I seen Super Joint, 2001-2 at the Masquerade.
Yeah.
75 people and just owned it. In heaven. I don't know why they had it in heaven because there's so little of people there. But, so good. So good. That's one a metal character that has let us down so bad.
Yes.
My hero growing up.
A lot of ours.
And his mouth
he just keeps talking.
And stupidity has been one of the biggest letdowns to me. And you hear about people all the time. I met Phil in like meet and greet situations as a kid growing up, have not had a chance to meet him as I've grown in the career a little bit. I don't think I want to, because you hear about people all the time saying meeting their heroes ruins it and all, and the potential for that with his mouth and the things he's already done is just such a, like I said, it's just, I think probably the biggest letdown in heavy metal to me is that guy and what he's done with his mouth. I
mean, I can say I interviewed him I think 4 times total, and he's one of those people that like, he's very loyal because he'll turn down interviews.
Yeah.
And be like, I don't want to talk to them. I don't want to talk to them. I want to talk to these people. Because there was one interview, I think my last interview with him was at St. Vitus Bar, and he was not, I think it was a year after the Dime Bash thing.
Yeah.
Or close to a year after. And like Bruce from Warbeast was going through all his shit, like RIP, because he was the best. But, and I asked, I was like, can I interview Phil? And the PR was like, let's get back to you. And like, he remembered me and he was like, yeah, let's do it with Mark. Let's do it with Mark. And like, he's always been nothing but a gentleman to me.
No, and that's the thing. And I don't have any opinions on his character. I don't know the guy. I just know that he said some stupid shit.
Some dumb shit.
Some dumb shit that's like, and for somebody that I looked up to so much as a musician, the quality of his voice, the quality of the way he owns and demands a crowd, that's who when I first started singing and running the frontman, that's what I looked up to.
Do you still listen to it?
Yeah. Not nearly. I mean, first tattoo I ever got was a Cowboys from Hell tattoo.
I see a picture under here.
We both, I still listen to it, but not as much. And I weirdly enough, I still listen to Michael Jackson. I don't think about him diddling kids.
Yep.
Sometimes when I listen to Pantera, I think about The Shame. Because, like I said, it's just, you were one of my heroes, and you fucked up so bad. And
it's more near and dear to you.
Well, because I can't, and I feel bad about, in certain situations, telling somebody, I really fucking love Phil. I look up to Phil, because the wrong person who's just ready to argue is going to throw it in your face now.
Oh, I've had to delete many comments in my Phil interviews.
Yeah.
Like, how dare you support a racist? How dare you? I'm like, I'm just interviewing this dude.
You do know that he did a lot of stuff with metal.
He's got, like, let me do my fucking interview. Like, I get it, because everybody's like the smartest person ever in comments, and so.
Well, yeah, that's like I said. Everybody has, not everybody, but it just goes back to, like I said, the Michael Jackson thing. How many people cut off Michael?
Oh, I still know people think he's innocent. Hey, man, still to this day they get pissed. I'm like, what do you do? They're like, dude, don't do it. And I'm like, what? Like, it's kind of obvious, bro. I don't care if he made Thriller.
He made Thriller. He can do no wrong.
He can do no wrong. I'm pretty sure he does.
I don't know. Dave Chappelle's thing though, he's like, a lot of people out here got molested. It wasn't by Michael Jackson.
Yeah, I mean,
and if he did, all right.
God bless Chappelle, the best.
So good, so good. Shows that you're looking forward to coming back, do you think that they're going to be more expensive because of the dynamic of what the nation's doing? I don't know how, or have you noticed that people like Florida has just opened back up fucking completely? So with that being said, you can go down there and play there, whatever equivalent to the Dome is, to Lakewood Amphitheater. They're wide open. Well, and fast forward to the first quarter of next year and the second quarter of next year, that's going to start happening in more and more states. And then you're going to see this state is wide open. This state's 50%. This state you can do a third. I wonder if they're even going to bother, or if that's still going to keep the tours and everything from coming. If they're, because it
definitely is, because especially if like bands from Europe, they're not going to come here.
No, they're definitely
not. Why the hell would they come here? And like, I don't understand.
Well, I don't think they're going to come just because of the way that it's been handled. They would probably think they're going to get sick if they come over here.
Who would blame them?
Yeah.
They're shut down New York City again today.
Yeah.
Like, New York City was fucked. Listen to science, put on masks, then decide not to, and now they're closing schools again. I'm like, just listen to the scientists.
The bare minimum bare minimum of common sense will get you.
Blows my mind, man.
Yeah,
it blows my mind. But that's what we are. It's a divided nation and a divided, opinionated world. I just say wear a mask, man.
I don't like wearing the mask, but I wear one. I wear one every day.
Same here.
Because it's just common sense. It's easier to go that way. And at the end of the day, I don't want to get sick. I don't want my girlfriend to get sick. I don't want my father to get sick.
Exactly.
So I'm truthfully not worried about myself. I have a great immune system. I don't get sick very often. From the news and data that I've heard, I'm probably, even if I get it, okay.
Yeah.
But I don't want Matt to get it. I don't want to give it to anybody. I don't want to give it to the little old lady that walks in the gas station right after me. It's just common sense of why.
Common courtesy.
Yeah, and why these things can happen. Because I've talked to so many people that are like, oh, hell with them masks. And I was like, well, why? I don't go nowhere. I'm not out and about. I'm not doing it. You go to the grocery store, don't you? You go to the gas station. You just know, you don't understand. It doesn't care what situation you're going to pick it up in.
Yeah.
Or transfer it in.
We really don't. They're still figuring out how this virus works. It's like a day-to-day thing, and like, obviously Trump getting it is like bringing it more into society, and everybody's like, oh shit, this is a real thing now. It's like, come on, like, I don't know. And when it comes to tours, it's going to be interesting because, like you said, Florida's open, but who is actually going to go? Are they going to do full capacity shows? Are they going to do
Floridians?
They don't. There's a reason we don't talk about them.
It's Florida Man.
Florida Man.
It's good. So I think that we're going to still be another full year off before you start seeing the big ones. I think
because if you think about it, the vaccine, if it is done by November, they're only going to give it to certain people to start out with to see if it works. It's going to be the elderly and the children, and then if it works, then it's going to be mass, and that's going to be next summer. Mm-hmm. At the earliest. If you listen to the CDC, who, they know science. They know their shit. So, like, for stuff to get back to normal is into next year, is what I'm thinking. If people listen and obey, like, to what you need to do, into next year. But it's going to be, we'll see.
I wonder how many venues are going to actually be able to hold, independent venues are going to be able to hold on, and how many bands are going to be able to hold on.
Bands are hurting.
Well, and especially a lot of people don't realize how hard it is in the last 10 years to be a mid-level, almost about to move to the next level band. What that takes and the amount of commitment, sacrifice, and just eating dog shit for a minimum of a year to 2 years, if it's going to be, of what that takes. And there's guys that have been right on that cusp of making it when this hit, and they right there at it, and now they have nothing. It's just done. When all they were getting was a pat on the back, and starting an agent starting to talk to them. Hey, you're going to go on the tour with so and so. And they're like, oh my God, it's finally here. I don't have any money in my pocket. I don't have any. I don't have a mortgage. I don't have a home. I don't have anything. But it's finally about to happen. Coronavirus, boom, you have nothing. Those are the bands I think that are more at risk to fall apart than
100%.
Because they're worn down. They're getting older. The same thing with my band. Why we that didn't fall apart, but stopped working as hard as we could. You get older, obligation grows, and you literally can't after a certain point. After them baby.
It's people I mean, you see bands and you're like, oh, this is what I want. But then, like, once you get to know bands, you're like, it's cool for like an hour a day when you're on stage, and then you're stuck with these guys for 23 hours on a small bus. And like, yeah, they're living their dream, but are they making money? Are they saving money? Are they?
Well, yeah, and that's like you said, on a small bus. When a band is to the point of where they just have hit bus tours, they're not making any money. They're not making any money. Bands have to they have to flip it around. If they own their own stuff, they do a lot better. But hardly anybody does. They're starting to more and more just because labels are bellying up, and you have no choice. And if a band has a damned if you do, damned if you don't mentality, and they're going for it, they'll figure it out. And they're gonna go through those things. But I just think there's going to be a lot of talent that we were going to see. Oh, yeah. That we're not going to see.
I am glad that bands are still releasing music, though.
Yeah.
I was kind of worried that people were going to be like, let's hold off on a new record.
Well, I mean, I seen an article with the singer of Cataclysm wrote out that it was pretty unmetal to not be releasing your shit right now because of coronavirus.
Yeah.
Like what kind of bitch move is that? And I was like, yeah, that's pretty.
It's totally true.
Yeah.
People need an outlet. I mean, that's why metalheads love metal.
Especially metalheads.
It's their outlet. Like, that's how they live. That's what they love. And to cut them out.
If you wrote this metal album with a marketing release campaign and all this shit involved, I'm curious to hear what kind of metal you wrote here, bud boy.
Fucking atmospheric doom.
Came in like a wrecking ball.
I was like, you got Miley Cyrus, man. That was nice. That was good. You're a man of all music.
People know this. I like good tunes. And Miley, come on, sit in here. We'll talk about good tunes.
And get her in here, man.
I'll get her in here. We'll fucking smoke cigarettes and talk about all kind of shit. Speaking of that, good interviews.
Yeah, man.
Have you ever came down from the high of when you got to interview Metallica? Or are you still feeling the tingles from that?
I come down until the memory pops up.
Until you hit it, until it comes up on your feed?
It comes up on Facebook, and then I start like crying like a bitch again. I'm like, oh my God, that really happened. Yeah, that was... I mean, it wasn't a one-on-one interview, to be honest. It was a town hall at Sirius. So I got to ask them a question. And like, they were right there. Like, James was right here. And yeah, I asked him a question, and like, everybody saw it and thought it was like a full interview, like all my other stuff. But yeah, it was just a town hall, but still, it's like, to this day, I still don't believe it.
All right, don't worry. We'll edit all that part out so it still sounds like
I don't give a shit. I'm an open book, man. Everybody that knows it was a town hall, but it was still like, how often do you get to like ask your gods a question? And like, they see you.
What did you ask them, for the people that haven't seen the footage?
I asked them what the next arena metal band was. Like, because obviously there was Slipknot, but I was like, I had to throw in Gojira because I love Gojira.
Right.
I was like, you brought out Gojira and Lamb of God and all this. Like, what's the next like big stadium metal band? And like, Lars kind of like beat around the bush, and Trujillo was like Avenged Sevenfold, and of course they brought up like Slipknot. But I was hoping for like a Gojira or something like more my taste.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's kind of like, is there ever going to be?
That was exactly what I was about to say. Do you think there is any going to?
But I don't know if even like we want one, because like still to this day, like for Gojira, I've seen them open up for Metallica, like huge stadium tours, but then I saw them at St. Vitus with 200 people and like top 5 show of my entire life.
Yeah. Like I've seen Gojira like 5-6 times now, and the best one was the first time at Masquerade.
Changed everything.
300 people, and they just destroyed it. Yeah.
I didn't even like him at that point. Hodges still gives me shit about it. He's like, oh, you're talking about you hated Gojira, man. You hated Gojira. And I'm like, yeah, then I saw him live, and like I was like, oh shit, they're the real deal, man.
These guys don't play. Is any chances that that's going to you're going to come around on Ghost?
No, not at all. I don't like Ghost. I don't care. But people that know me, like every time like I posted a blog or something, I never wrote about a band I didn't like.
Right.
I always wanted to be like positive, because there's enough negative bullshit everywhere. So I never wrote a review. It was like, this album sucks. I'm like, what's the point of that? Like, promote good shit, and if you don't promote it, then like, all right, cool. But Ghost, nah, I don't get it. I like.
Have you seen them live?
Unfortunately, because they opened up for Iron Maiden.
Did I see that? I don't think I've seen that.
I saw him at Madison Square. Was it Madison Square? It was either Madison Square or Barclays. No, it was Barclays in Brooklyn.
Couldn't find the groove nowhere.
Listen, man, it's just not my thing. I'm not really a gimmick guy.
We're gonna convert you, brother.
Oh man, it's not gonna happen. People have tried. I
know they have. I sit back and see people fucking with you online about it sometimes and just.
Well,
laugh.
the best is like when I worked at Duff's, like Jimmy Duff put it on the jukebox and didn't tell me. And then like I was working, and all of a sudden I heard Ghost, and I'm like, this motherfucker. And he's just like cracking up. He's like, it's like, damn it. Hey man, but like people love them, and they're like one of the biggest bands. So like
they've blown.
Who the fuck am I to say anything? Like they did something right.
It's kind of like when Limp Bizkit and everybody hit the stage. It's kind of like I don't know if I like this, but look what they're doing to the crowd.
They're still fucking around.
Something's fucking happening right with them.
Still selling out.
I think it was Vinnie Paul that said it's like I don't really get it, but look what the fuck they're doing to that crowd. Oh my god, it's just times change with people. I don't know. I think Ghosts. It's definitely the gimmick thing. It's definitely the gimmick. They have some.
They weren't wearing like the stupid gimmicks and like maybe like the first album.
That's so you can't even give them a chance past that. You can't get.
I gave him a chance on the first record, and I was like, it was actually Anselmo like played it for me. And he's like, listen to this shit, and I was like, all right. And I was like, this is Blue Oyster Cult. Like, what the fuck are you playing to me? And he's like, no, it's like satanic and all this, and I was like. All right, whatever. And they showed me a picture. I was like, nah, bro. It's like, nah, I'm not doing that. He's like, no, I get it. And then like the second album came out, and I was like, this is pure trash. And that was like the album that like clicked for everybody. That's the album that like blew them up. And I'm
the EP thing they released. Yeah.
And like I said, man, it's just personal opinion. But that is the one band that I'll straight up say like fuck Ghost. Like every other band, like whatever.
I can't do their whole catalog, but they got a few tunes that when I hear them, I'm just like
they're catchy, man. I'll give them that.
They write pretty well. The stuff Dave produced was pretty good. The Rocky Erickson cover, it's pretty good. Because I'm a huge Rocky Erickson fan too.
Yeah.
Just the notion that anybody would cover Rocky. Because every time somebody's hearing, I'm like, have you heard the original? Have you? And they're like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, get away from me.
Well, you got to give in somehow. Some people didn't know Bob Seger. Some Metallica covered them. So who do you know?
Those people are fucking idiots.
Exactly.
But working in the movie industry lately, I just worked for a couple months with a brand new crew that I'm not used to working with. And my way to introduce myself to new crews and fill out who's cool and shit is through music.
Yeah.
And a lot of these guys don't bring their radios and shit, and I'll bring mine and I'll put on different tunes. Bob Seger is one that you can rule out the cool fuckers really quick. I had Bob Seger playing, and fucking 15 minutes later, I'm looking around. Construction guys are all over there. It's like, little too tall. People are walking around, bobbing their heads, singing lyrics. These are my people.
That's it.
These are my people.
It. We did a cool thing in New York. Like once a month, we get a bunch of people together, like at our house, and we call it music night. But the one rule was no metal. Yeah. Play whatever the fuck you want. You can play anything.
No, don't beat us up with Marshall Stacks. That's the only rule.
I just want no metal, and dude, those were like some of the best nights ever.
Oh, dude, yeah.
You find out what people grew up on. You find out like all the stuff you didn't even know about, and like, dude, those were like still to this day some of my favorite memories, dude. It was like because there's so much out there, and like for 15 years, like all I listened to was metal.
That's one of the things that's so funny to me. By no means have I become less of a metalhead. But I feel
like I have.
But as a kid, they always tell you won't listen to that forever. You won't listen to that forever.
Yeah.
The stuff I still listen to, it is metal.
Yeah.
You know, Johnny Cash is punk rock.
100%.
I'm sorry. You know, the Dwight Twilley is the type of rock and roll that I like, and I hear just when you hear the certain drum beats and certain things I find the heaviness in stuff that's not heavy, and I know that's why I like it, or the grittiness, or the southern soul that runs through something, even if it's real pretty and not masculine sounding. Yeah. I still, when I find that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I like the dirty, even like the dirty blues I've gotten into recently. It's just like it's just disgusting, but it's so beautiful. Like it's so real.
If you can whine like fucking Hank Williams Jr. or Conway Twitty over some blues stuff, like that's why I got into Gary Clark Jr. so much a couple years ago when he first hit the scene. I was just like, oh, thank you, God.
He's like Hendrix reincarnated, man. That dude is something else.
It's better than Hendrix reincarnated. Just he's got Hendrix. I mean, I don't like comparing them. It's just it's
I'm not comparing them.
No, I know. I'm just saying it's just it does an injustice to throw the name up to it's apples and oranges.
True.
A black guitar player, easy comparison, but just his tone and everything about it when he plays, and he's so cool and so young. If you know his story, skipping school and hanging out in Austin with all the hip players and fucking Stevie Ray Vaughan's brother and shit like that.
Well, that's what I was about to say, man. He is like, Gary Clark is the one guitarist, like a popular guitarist, that can hit one note and make you want to cry, like Stevie Ray used to.
It's the tone of the fingers, man.
Like he knows his guitar. Unlike,
that's what I love when you see a guitar player that plays like this. Well, I'm lucky enough to Chet.
I was about to say, man.
Chet, that's what I was like. Chet, our guitar player, he has that. He's the most humble guy in the world.
He's unreal, dude.
And he's always, I'm sorry I messed up that part in the solo and all.
Like, no, you made it better.
I'm like, dude. And when he plays an acoustic guitar or an old Stratocaster and playing some blues stuff through a nice system, the tone of the fingers, you can't duplicate that. There can be somebody else play it exactly right, but be so much further wrong than what he played. You can't teach that. It's 20 years
and it's effortless.
Yeah,
it's effortless what he does, which is,
there's nothing more enjoyable than watching any guitar player that can do that.
No, man, that's why I've always, like, every time I get to see Chet live, I'm like, yes, like I have to, because it's just so much fun, and it's just like,
when you can tell he enjoys it too. He's a real player. That's, even though we haven't been playing that much stuff, he's still playing our tunes once, twice a week, along with everything else that he's recorded, and he's writing new stuff and recording new stuff constantly. So he just loves to play, and that's the deal. That's how you get the. He's taking a shit. He's playing. He's
like, he gave me a compliment on like one of my Metallica clips, and I was like the happiest kid ever. I was like, yeah, Chet liked it. I was like, I'm doing something right. I was like, I'll be on your level in like 40 years. But like, thanks, man.
Yeah, and he'd be like, no, man, no.
Yeah, he was like, no, you're all right. And I'm like, no, I'm not, dude.
Thanks a lot, Chet. Thanks, I appreciate it. Your humbleness made me feel even worse.
Pretty much.
But God bless him, dude. Who knows what's going to happen with us with stuff like that? You know, wanting to see Chet play, wanting to see Curtis play, and all them guys. I don't know how to make it feasible right now, but I
mean, there's a lot of bands doing like playthroughs.
We've talked about doing some sort of something again, firing up, but Legion just got to a level of what. It started costing way too much to put on the shows and do the touring that we wanted to do at the level what we were representing the band at, and we couldn't even come close to making it worth our while. And we did it for a long time and said, no, we'll pay our dues. I'll keep paying out of the pocket, and I'll do this. And it gets to a point where you realize there's no light at the end of the tunnel anytime soon, and I'm going into extreme debt.
I mean, that's a similar way of why I kind of stepped back when I moved back here from New York, because I was running on empty, working 3 jobs and like doing all the blogs and interviews, and I was like, I'm literally killing myself. I was like, I need to stop for like a year.
And like, just recalibrate,
refocus my life, and like find, because even like people in New York are like, you're dying, like you need to slow down.
That's one good thing about the pandemic and this shutdown of everything. For me and Matt and the Sid Howe Presents crew, Slaughter crew, we have taken this time to realign, to reevaluate. We've started this whole venture here, and we have some other things in the back burner that will. Crystal ball comes clear, we'll have some really come shit to release come the end of the year, you know. But there's just so much in the air, you can't do it. But my hat's off to anybody who has took this time to pivot, try something new, and say, I'm not going down.
Yeah,
I'm not going down. Let's figure out how to live in this new world. Let's adapt. I love listening and seeing what everybody's trying to do with that.
It's cool, man. It's and there's a lot of different things going on. Like, there's a lot of different ways bands are doing certain things. So it's cool to hear.
People are starting to get annoyed with me, I'm pretty sure, because I am bands. I've been telling bands, this has been almost my promo. I'm telling you, you're a band. Not anymore. You're a website. The band is on the website. The band is the main axle in the wheel. Mm-hmm. But you do all kind of other stuff. You're a content machine. You want to stay alive now?
Got to.
The drummer has a cooking show. The guitar player has a fucking gear a gear show. The whole band talks about all kind of shit. You need to start releasing more of it. You're a content machine. That's how you're going to stay relevant now. And writing good music. Everything revolves around the band, but releasing the music and just being, hey, I'm a band, I'm here, what you want me to do? That's not going to work anymore. Nope. You have
that was going away before all this.
Yeah.
But this like elevated it.
But even now,
like nothing. It's like, all right, now we're here. Like, good luck.
We're here. Yeah. Start getting some streams, boys.
Yeah.
And girls.
Do something. Go on Twitch.
So I've just been, and all my friends and other bands and everybody, like I said, I'm getting on their nerves. I'm like, start a YouTube channel, start a blog, start a fucking podcast, start something, start content churning.
Got to.
Start content churning. That's the only way you're going to, when this opens back up, you'll still be rolling. You won't have to.
Yep.
And I don't know. We'll see how this goes. I'm enjoying the hell out of this so far. You know, and doing everything with everybody, getting good responses, having cool fucking people come hang out.
Man, I don't know why the hell I'm here.
You know why. We've been spent too many times in the pit drunk as hell together for this not
just
to happen.
Just a few times.
I believe you may have been the first proper interview that Legion X ever gave. I can't be positive because we did a bunch of bullshit stuff, but I think the first proper one might have been the Slaughter Q.
The first
you interviewed us at a Slaughter Q, didn't you?
The first one.
Yeah, I think that might have been our first real proper interview.
Yeah, that was for Skulls and Bones, I believe.
Well, how the tables have turned.
I know, right? I've been interviewed 3 times, and I'm like, this is so awkward. Like, this is my job. This is what I do.
Yeah. How horrible am I doing?
Oh, you're doing good, man. you keep the conversation going. I like that. I don't know what the hell to say.
Just whatever, man. That's the great thing about podcasts is we're just talking shit.
Yeah.
With Sidro.
Your faces and lights.
That is the biggest ego trip I've ever done in my life.
I want one.
I'll tell you what.
Of my face.
Yeah, I'll get you hooked up. I know a guy.
All right, that works.
But yeah, I've enjoyed the hell out of this and doing more. I'm just so at odds with what you're supposed to do, you know, to get more metal going. Because I have my concerns on. We're going to start live streaming in the near future.
Yeah,
we have plans to do things. Stuff's working. But I don't have much faith that how do you get people to come? So that's what going back a couple steps back. I've been really enjoying what the live streams are offering, different people with packages and different tiered sections and reasons to make you want to watch this live stream. Because as much as I enjoyed the Down one that like we were talking about that we watched the other day, it was a great price. Down hasn't performed in years, but it was simply a show. Did they offer a T-shirt add-on jump up?
Yeah, they did. They had a couple of things, like a signed poster, like a lithograph record you get celebrating 25 years of Down NOLA.
Yeah.
And a couple other things. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, I wasn't huge on the T-shirt. More so on the crowbar one, actually.
Yeah.
So that's what I was getting at. Is like, if the design's not there at all, and what did we end up paying? $9 for the
$8?
Yeah.
That's a great price. You can't complain about that at all. But I see it being hard whenever me, as a metal fan and everything, disappointed is not the word I'm going to want to use, but for a lack of terms, being disappointed with paying that little of money. Actually, Matt paid for it. I didn't even fucking pay for it. But disappointed paying that little for a show that means that much. How do you make people care? You know?
I mean, they're just staying relevant. I mean, we all know they were planning something big for this anniversary. Like, we all know they were looking to do a tour and doing all this stuff. So they had to do something. Obviously, Phil needed to get out there until he could still do it.
No, I get that. I'm not questioning why they do it. What I'm saying is how do you produce these things and ever expect it to be a commodity? The ones we're going to release, I'm already across the bridge through the research and things we've been doing. We're going to be releasing free ones.
Yeah.
I'm not going to try to charge for
them. I know Behemoth, they had like price tiers and they had shirts and laminates and signed.
And I went through all that, but I just don't, like I said, you have to get to X level of stature, I think, to do that.
Well, that just comes with time.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah, like you just got to, if you're starting from the bottom, like just keep putting it out. Once one hits.
Well, that being said, I mean, I could book, in theory, I could book Behemoth. I could book Down and pay them to come be a part of our live streams and all. But I just don't see how it's not a money thing for me trying to get these things going. But I definitely don't want to go way into debt to produce and make it all happen, and then be like, "Whoa, man, we just spent $10,000 and got $2,000 back. This thing was really cool."
I mean, you could bring in sponsors. You could do.
Well, that's what we do. We do. But I have enough ventures that are startups that are spending 10 and only bringing back 2 slowly. But either way, we're working through it. So everybody, I've been asking everybody, how much streaming have you been watching? And
I've done a lot.
The metal fans, people that are true grit metal fans, are watching, and that's a given with metal fans. Yeah. Metal fans still physically purchase albums because we understand what it means. Metal fans, they do it because they enjoy smelling that vinyl. They enjoy looking at it, pulling everything out. They enjoy the fact they know they helped that band out. Yep. That's a part of why metal will never go away. That's a part of why people scream Metallica, why they scream Slayer. Nobody screams fucking Garth Brooks.
I mean, some people do.
It's Garth! And then they run.
Yeah.
But, the point, I think those people are doing it, but I'm just really curious when you get to the Garth things. I seen him I actually scrolled across a live stream he was doing, and Garth Brooks had like 12,000 people watching it. He's one of the biggest entities in the world, and 12,000 people's it?
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I wonder how the celebrities are going to... I have no idea how I'm trying to phrase that. Just how it's going to work. Yeah. If it keeps on going. But I guess, that's the sponsorship game. If it keeps going, it just becomes more content. Everything is content, commercials, sponsors, and...
anything is anymore, really.
I hate it.
It's pretty bad.
It made my mind...
I see it coming, too. It's just the pandemic just...
And always wanting to have events and put on good times. I just love to get people together and see smiling faces. I enjoy the work leading into it, but just getting people together for Sid Hall Presents events is so much fun. But the way it's turning into now, it's like you're not even going to be able to, other than sponsor-driven stuff. That changes the game now. Sponsors are going to want to change what you're doing.
They're going to want more.
Everything. I don't know. Most of the folks watching are friends and people as we're growing here, but a lot of folks that are new to the game. I don't necessarily produce always family-friendly stuff. Slaughter Q is extremely family-friendly. Yes. If you're not stuck up, you'll hear a few F-bombs. You might see lots of cleavage type thing. But it's good for kids. But a lot of stuff, the haunted houses that have been associated with, the other types of shows, the movies that we've produced, and a lot of stuff is pretty out there. And dancing with sponsors I've already had those dances, and it's like, God damn it, I don't want to go more into that.
Yeah.
Pushed on with this. So we just keep being creative, I guess, is all you can do.
You got to change it up a bit. When I started doing interviews, I was only doing local bands, which is what I wanted to do. And then I had the opportunity to interview Mark Rizzo. And after that, Rizzo was like, "Hey, dude, you're actually good at this shit."
Did he wear his backpack for the whole interview?
He took it off. It wasn't El Nino. It was, I think it was the solo tour of the Masquerade, I believe.
I've always wondered what he kept in that backpack.
I've asked him 900 times. He's like, "It's so dumb." He's like, it's just clothes." He's like, "It's not exciting." I'm like, pretty sure there's something else.
I'm pretty sure there's something else in there. There's something.
I'll just say clothes, but yeah.
There's really nothing in there. I just wear it for this instance right here. So people wonder.
I don't know. That was strictly El Nino, though. Once he got with Max, he kind of took over. So he's doing all right.
No, yeah, he's
doing okay.
Yeah. That was awesome. I have not done any large interviews yet. Obviously, you're a pretty big deal.
No. People ask me when are you getting back into it? I'm like, I don't know. I need some time.
Do you miss it somewhat?
I miss the interviews. I don't miss the work because the
organizing,
No, just the interviews itself, getting them together, doing them. I did all the editing. So that to me was fun, but then handling the day-to-day content got old.
Yeah.
And that got old quick. And it became not a passion anymore. It became work. And I already had another job. In New York, I had 2 jobs. So that was the 3rd job.
Yeah.
So it was and plus with content, Metal Injection and Metal Sucks are the kings.
Yeah.
They're going to beat you to it every time.
Yeah.
So what the fuck is the real point? Unless you're putting out something original. But the interviews I miss for sure. And it's cool when bands come down here and they're like, "Oh man, we missed it, man." And I was like, "Yeah." It was fun. It was legit fun. But yeah, I don't miss the content. I don't miss the work.
That's when people, same thing with the band stuff. People ask me, do you miss it? Why don't you do it? I was like, no, I totally miss jamming with my guys.
Yeah.
Totally miss being on stage, but hours on the computer, sending offers and tour routing back because when you're a young band doing nothing, somebody in the band is running the show.
Yep.
You're not making enough money to pay some other asshole to do it not as good as you can do for yourself. They don't.
Yeah.
And yeah, you just get burnt out on it, and then
that's what happened to me. I did my last few interviews. I was like, I think I'm done. I was at the bar. I was like, I think I'm over it.
Were they just not fulfilling and worthwhile?
No, they were good interviews. It just I think I was just burned the hell out about everything. I wanted to move back home. I wanted there was just so much going on personally at the time. I was like,
well, we were happy to have you back home. I know that everybody. Every time you come to town when you were in New York, everybody was like, it is party time this weekend.
Yeah, man. I mean, the first Slaughter Q when I came back, it was hard to go back to New York because that was everybody was there. There was so much love, and I was like, man, this is the shit that I remember. But I had to do the New York thing. That was always a dream, so I did it. I don't regret it at all. Hell no.
No, you did a lot of cool stuff while you were up there.
I met some of the best people of my entire life. So I have friendships for life just from moving up there. And to me, that's more important than anything musically.
And I still think about the Duff shirt you brought me that walked out my door. One of my exes took it.
Yep, that did happen.
Bitch.
I have 12. I'll give you one. Oh, actually, I have more than that. I have 900 Duff shirts.
Okay, we can make that happen. Well, if you can make that happen, I'll rock it. I'll rock it.
I got quite a few.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to make a trip up there and next time we're up there for real, swing through there. Then you hung us got a Slaughter Q poster hanging in there, didn't you?
Yep,
that's awesome.
I went there and St. Vitus too.
A little taste of home. Needed to have it there.
I had to. Well, he has a Mastodon used to go there early on. A bunch of the up and coming Atlanta bands would always go to Duff. So he has classic photos Weed Eater and all these people just Zoroaster back in the day. He still has those hanging up. He's when I moved up there, he kept pointing them out. He's like, hey look, there's your boys, there's your boys.
I knew him back then.
I know.
Before. Anytime we would go to a town, especially if I'm not there playing with a band or something back in the day, or you're just on vacation or doing anything, I'm like, where's your rock and roll bar? I'm like, where's the bar that has just graffiti all over the bathrooms and they're always playing stuff that's exactly. On the radio. Do y'all have any bars like that? I don't know. No. This town sucks.
Duff's is the one for sure.
Not everybody can have a East Atlanta Village like we have.
No,
that's when you go to towns and can't find a good rock bar, and I think we have whole blocks, multiple blocks in different points of the area with cool ass shit. How do you not have one piece of shit bar for me to damn drink in and listen to Seeger?
I just want to listen to Seeger, man. Why is that so hard?
It's not. It shouldn't be. But in today's world we're living in now, metal is just not as, and rock is not on the tip.
Not really.
Do you know many young adults, any friends that have preteens or teenage kids you spend any time around, any nieces and nephews or anything like that?
Yeah, I do.
Do you talk to them about their music? Fuck with them? Poke them?
I try to figure out what the hell it is.
Yeah, that's what I do too.
It's every generation, my music's better than your music, back in my day and all this shit. But the stuff now, I don't get.
We released an article right when we released the page that Wilsifer dropped in the title. Does nowadays music suck or are we just getting old?
I think we're getting old.
I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, like I said, our parents were flipping out over Tupac and stuff. I didn't realize this gangbanger doing all this. Well, they teach his lyrics in poetry classes and stuff now, and
that's what I grew up on.
And literature stuff. I don't think that Cardi B is going to be taught in schools later on down. I don't think we're missing the point on that.
I fucking hope not.
I see the similarities in some of the stuff with Elvis gyrating and everybody was flipping out and so on. But I don't see this holding on as tight as that stuff did.
the good music's out there. It's just harder to find. And
they're not pumping good music.
Well, it's not making money, so they're not going to get a push.
Yeah,
but if you can find them, there's still some incredible stuff out there.
Which is that notion is so hilarious to me. Are you familiar with Wheeler Walker?
Yeah, man.
He's not a comedian artist. He's a country guy who got sick and tired that they're not releasing real country. So said, hell, I'm going to make the best country album I can with the best fucking players I can, and they're not going to play it anyway. So I might as well just jack off and say whatever the fuck I want to say anyways. They're not going to play it.
I saw him in New York. My buddy Jason, he was like working with them. He's like, you got to come see this guy. Like legit. I think I knew one song maybe.
Right.
Dude, it was like 60 people venue. Like it was a super small bar. But like I put my boots on, like I was like, we're going all out tonight,
showed up,
man.
yeah.
Dude, like 3 songs in, I'm like crying from laughing so hard. Like this dude just doesn't give a fuck.
I love his fucking attitude and his way of looking at it. And he was on the way out the door. Yep. He's like, fuck it, I'm gonna do this best fucking album that they've had with all these good players and fuck them. And it hit the fucking just
brilliant, man.
took off.
So good.
I love that mentality, and I love just how that worked out for him. And I can't. His last 2 albums have been just great. But when you throw the gloves off and have nothing holding you back, it's great.
And he's not wrong about a lot of stuff. He's not wrong. Like New Country is pretty shit.
Oh, it's horrible. And I just love he's like talking about Broadway, and it's like, fuck, up there in Nashville, they don't like me, Fuck them.
Fuck them.
Hats off to you, Wheeler. Wheeler, once again, you too. I'd love to.
Yeah, man.
You come in.
He'd be a hell of an interview.
I like pot a lot too.
Oh, Wheeler. Yeah, that was one of my favorite nights in New York. I was like, I get to be a redneck tonight. Like, I get to be like myself.
We're gonna. Damn it, Mark! I didn't. Where did your tongue swole up? Did you eat have you eaten something bad? You sound really odd.
No, it was just good. It was like everybody was like cowboy hats and like jean shorts and stuff. I'm like, I remember this.
This is out there on movie sets I've been working with because there's a lot of LA cats that come and work here with us, and we're wearing masks. And my redneck voice, anyways, and my tone, and just so many times they're like, "What did you just say? You sound like Boomhauer."
Yeah,
that should have become my nickname out there.
Yeah, I think my accent was still pretty prevalent.
Yeah,
like my first few years in New York, because every now and then somebody called me out and be like, "Dude, stop that." And I was like, "What?" He's like, "You just said yonked." And I was like, "Yeah, I did."
Well, do you yonk too?
And like ain't got in the dictionary. I was so happy. I was like, no, I'm not an idiot.
Now, touche, motherfuckers. Everybody talking all that shit.
Yeah. But yeah, it went away, but it's starting to come back, especially after a few beers.
Couple beers, couple trips to Waffle House.
Oh man. Ours just opened up like a month ago. It was the happiest day of my life.
They've been shut down?
Yeah, the one near me was, and then they opened up from like 7 a.m. to 2 a.m. So my ass was there at 7:05, and I was like, I want all of it.
I would have assumed Waffle House would have been like, come on in. You want your COVID scattered, covered, and smothered?
Well, I know maybe that was just like the Atlanta Waffle House, but I know some out in the outskirts there.
If it was an Atlanta one, they was just closed down to clean up a murder.
Probably. But, as long as I get my hash browns, I'm good.
Yeah, baby.
Just wipe the blood away.
That's what one of our things on the road we used to do. Jeremy was all about it. He started it. Triple hash brown challenge. Ooh. So after the shows on the way out, everybody we stop at Waffle House and order the triple hash brown challenge. It's triple hash browns, covered, smothered, chopped, capped, everything under the sun, and then whoever can finish it. Period.
Who did it?
I can't remember if anybody ever finished it.
I was about to say, who would do that?
We try.
I remember the closest Waffle House in New York was an hour and a half away. It was like in Pennsylvania or somewhere. I went like 3 times. I took a bus sometimes. I was like, I need my fucking Waffle House.
Oh man, I'm just gonna do this. Oh man, I didn't know your commitment was that.
Listen, man, there's some things in life I love a lot, and the Waffle House is one of them.
Do they have sweet tea up there?
They do.
Or they give you Splenda?
I'm gonna get shunned by every Southerner. I've never been a sweet tea guy.
Wow.
I know. I don't know. I tried. My dad drinks unsweet tea.
Oh.
I don't know what the hell. Yeah,
That's why, because you was in a household of fucked up tea.
I think my mom, she drinks sweet tea. I think my dad was just unsweet. But yeah, I was never a tea guy. I don't know.
Oh, man. I remember when that's something of being on tour, you crossed the Mississippi, sweet tea doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And then you'll be like, can bring you sweet tea. They don't even. You say, "Can I get a sweet tea?" And they won't even say anything. They'll just bring you unsweet tea, and you hit it, and you're like, "Ah,
yeah,
fucking death!" And then you just ask them for some Splenda or something, and then they'll bring you regular fucking sugar.
Yep,
and that don't work either.
No, they do that in New York.
You're just eating sugar and sipping your fucking tea, trying to do something. It's horrible. Horrible. Well, I appreciate you coming by.
I appreciate the invite, man.
We'll have to do it again sometime.
I'm down.
Bring in the rest of some other boys and let's just get drunk as hell and commentate over a good show. Maybe we pull up a show.
Reminisce some masquerade days.
Yeah, that could be pretty cool. I have even, me and Matt found some old Legion X footage from...
I probably still have some somewhere.
I'm sure you do. You filmed us so many times.
Yeah. I think they're still online. I have no idea.
I don't know. But anyways, folks, thank you for turning in. Mark McPheeters. Any links, anything you want to drop out, anything you want to plug?
Nah, man. Just treat each other nice.com. Stop the bullshit. Just treat each other nice.
That's what I'm talking about. All right, folks. Talking shit with Sid. Be sure to like and subscribe.
Do those things.
Do them. Boom. Thank you.